Greetings, humanoids of the internets! My name is Bob, and this is episode 100 of Journey to Space! Journey into motherfucking space. Episode 100 of Journey into motherfucking space. Yeah. I just wanted to show you this. I'm not going to launch it. This is the smallest satellite launcher I've ever made. It's 2 stages. The first stage has 2 of these little engines and 1 of these little fuel tanks. Second stage has 1 of those little fuel tanks and 1 of those little engines. And it actually will get into orbit. I'm not going to launch it because we've got a lot of things to do today. But I just wanted to show it to you. Yeah, okay, I'll launch it a little bit. But we gotta get on with the issues at hand here. Whee! Yeah, this will actually get to orbit, strangely enough. Alright, enough. Okay, another little project I'm sort of doing on the side. This is the Min EV2. Let me switch over to it. Basically the idea is the absolute minimum for a self-refueling spacecraft, but it's also probably interplanetary capable. In other words, I think it probably could get to Duna, but it's just bare bones. As you can see here, it's kind of in the dark. There is no capsule. It's just a seat. He sat in that seat. Philly Kerman sat in that seat all the way from Kerbin. All the way from launch to Minmus here. It's refueled at Minmus and is going on to whatever further destiny might await it. Also, in addition to having no crew capsule, it has no landing legs. I figured out that that one of those the very ultralight landing legs weighs as much as 15 cubic octagonal struts. So, and since I'm going to needed to have cubic octagonal struts going down at least about this far, I figured I'd just have nothing but cubic octagonal struts. And so that's how it works. Now that works on Minmus. How well that's going to work anywhere else is kind of up in the air. Also, there's some I broke sort of the cardinal rule of landers, which is landers need SAS. There is no SAS on this. So as a result, it was a little bit tricky to land. It probably would be even more tricky to land on someplace like the moon. Moon, whatever. Anyway, but none of this is the real event for today. The real event for today is we are taking the Wanderer 1 with Remy Kerman to Dres. Now there are some serious problems with getting to Dres. Dres has very low gravity, and it also has no atmosphere, so you cannot aerobrake. So the combination of those 2 things means it's very hard to shed enough velocity to actually stay in orbit around Dres. I've had probes that went to Dres before and simply didn't have enough thrust, didn't have enough, fuel power, didn't have enough fuel power to actually stay in orbit. And I don't have a lot of faith that the Wanderer itself is going to have that kind of power. So I took the precaution of bringing up this thing, a refueling tank. Refueling tank. Tongue is not working too well today. Mr. Tongue is not working too well today. So, like I have a refueling tank. It's mostly full of fuel. I had to use a little bit of it on the way here. I just need to get rid of these. So I'm just going to, here we can jettison this now, I guess. So I need to bring the Wanderer up here to dock with this so that we'll have extra fuel for the trip to Dres. Because I don't think that it's going to have enough fuel to stop at Dres without it. So, where is the Wanderer? Wanderer. Hello. Check that scene out here for a second. Is that something out of science fiction right there? I think so. Let me see which way the refueling vessel is going, so I make sure I'm heading the right way. It's heading this way, heading east, so I need to head east as well. Okay, we bid adieu to Paul, which is very lovely if and wonderful if creepy, and we will head off to Dres. Okay. Let's get launched. Oh. I keep on forgetting that you don't have to turn off the SAS. But the thing is, you will move if you're needing to maneuver quickly. You will maneuver with the more quickly. Tongue, Mr. Tongue, please behave. You will maneuver a little more quickly with the SAS turned off, I think. So even though you don't have to, if you need to move quickly, it's better to turn the SAS on. Okay, we'll get a rendezvous set up and dock up with the refueler. And then we'll be heading off to Dres with the planets line up, right? Okay, we're coming to dock with the refueler. We'll need to back out a little bit. Okay. Over just a tad. This is sort of basically a dumb projectile here at this point, I think. Well, no, I think it might have some maneuvering capability. What are you doing? Okay. Stop SAS off, asshole. SAS off, asshole. Okay. You need RCS on. Maybe it'd be easier to navigate this thing into play with that. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. Nope. Okay, that's better. That's more like it. I'm still not used to this, the rowboat effect of the new SAS. Okay. Need to go down. Need to rotate a little bit. Ah, fuck you, SAS. I want you to pick a spot and stay there, asshole. Okay, nope, need to go up. Nope, wrong way. Like you'd think we were bobbing around the ocean instead of in space. Come on, you manatees. Come on, manatee lovemaking. Well, that looks sort of aligned after a fashion. Boom. Okay. That looks like a bacteriophage. I don't know if you're familiar with what that is, but that's what it kind of what it looks like. All right, let's pop out the solar panels again because I'm sure we're running low on energy. Control from here. All right. Well, I'm going to try to see how we can get lined up on Dres. Yeah. And we'll take it from there. Okay, we're lined up on Dres, I hope, and we're gonna head on out, and we'll catch up with you when we are ready to have our encounter with Dres, which I've never landed on. In all my explorations in KSP, I've never actually landed on Dres. I've sent a probe there, which didn't land because of the aforementioned low gravity and high velocity issues. Yeah, so we'll see. Jool has a huge ass gravity well. We're looking at, okay, well even this far out, even out at Paul, the furthest moon from Jool, I'm still looking at 500 meters a second just to get out into the solar system. Okay. Goodbye, Paul. It was good visiting with you again. Paul is one of my favorite moons, despite the creepiness. Despite that, it's one of my favorite moons, and I really always enjoy to visit with it. But now we are heading off to Dres, and what we will encounter there, or whether we will be lost, whether Remy will be lost forever in space, I don't know. I do know that he's been in space for 5 years. I don't know. I can see how that would be a bit much, 5 years in space. I mean, and we're not talking 5 years on the Enterprise with, food replicators and holodecks and all of that, We're talking about 5 years in a tin can. Yeah. Ooh, there's Jool. Check that shit out. Okay. Space, the final frontier. This is the voyage of Oremy Kerman in a tin can. His 5-year mission to map Kethane on strange new worlds, to seek out new Kethane deposits and new lack of civilizations to boldly go where no man has gone before. Okay, I don't have an encounter with Dres. What I do have is a close approach. Dres is so tiny, it's pretty hard to get in, unless you're already aligned with their orbit, which I'm not. It's pretty hard to get a precise encounter, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of step out on faith here, do the maneuver that will bring me close, and then worry about how I'm going to get an actual encounter after that, which may or may not work. The expression on Remy's face is just priceless. It's just like, you know, frowning as much as he possibly could without just having his jaw drop in half. Okay, even though I still have a drop of fuel on this thing, I'm going to go ahead and drop it because it's important to have balance in these fuel tanks here, because I don't have a central fuel tank. I only have side fuel tanks. So what it is, I've filled up these two, and these two are not quite full, but it's going to be essentially impossible to put this last bit in a balanced way. So it could in theory unbalance the spacecraft. So I'm just going to sacrifice that. And this little guy is going to go drifting through the universe forever, pretty much. Doc. Bon voyage, little guy. Okay, we have an encounter with Dres. Could be hairy. Could be interesting. I'm going to use the residual RCS in this guy. Actually, I should have bled off the well, I guess it doesn't matter. I was about to say I should have bled off some more of the RCS in there, but fuck it. I actually probably won't really need that much RCS. Gonna move this guy off to the side so he doesn't wind up one day colliding with anything. Here we go. Alright. Yeah, I did use a little bit of the RCS. I can find my RCS tanks. Here we are. But not really much. Shouldn't be a biggie. Okay, so you should see at Dres. Okay, this is a perfect example of the fact that you need to know how to navigate without the maneuver tools. Because right now, for whatever reason, the maneuver tools are fucked up. So I'm having to maneuver without the maneuver tools. So it's good to know how to do that. Yeah. Okay, check this out. Almost 1,500 meters a second in order to stop at Dres. That's not going to be a problem. I got plenty of fuel as long as we start to burn soon enough. But yeah, that's a lot. But then again, I mean, as far as if you're looking for a body to colonize or to utilize in the solar system, in the Kerbal system, it's low gravity, and that covers a magnitude of ill, so it wouldn't be a bad spot for a base or something. But yeah, it does take a lot to break into its orbit because it's very lightweight, and you're out here in the cosmos. You're at cosmic velocities, as it were. So yeah. Okay, I'm in orbit around Dres, but my Kethane is acting weird. So I'm going to try getting a little bit closer to the moon and try to restart the detector and see if that helps. Okay, Kethane is working again, so I'm going to map the moon, map the planet. It's a planet, not a moon, and we'll move on from there. Okay, we have the planet Dres fairly well covered here. Kethane resources are about what you'd think for something of this, a planet of this size. Let's go ahead and get in for a landing, which will be my first manned land. It would be my first manned landing on Dres. Yes. But first, I need to get orbit that's a little bit less extreme than this, so I'll work on that. Okay, we're heading in for a spot that's sort of near some highlands, and also it's not too far from being equatorial. I mean, it's not equatorial, but it's not polar either, and it's sort of near some mountains, so it should be sort of interesting environment, assuming I don't land on the mountains themselves, which might be a little bit more technical than what I really want to have in mind. Yeah. Let's go ahead and move actually a little bit. Well, no, the planet's rotating. It should be clear. Never mind. Okay, we'll catch up when we're closer in. Okay, 14,000 meters up. Coming in for a final approach. Final approach, Victors. Roger, Roger. What's your vector, Victor? Don't know what the altitude is here, so kind of have to bear that in mind. The gravity is a little bit less than the Mun, pretty well comparable with the Mun, but a little bit less, much more than Minimus. But the amount of fuel we have should be more than adequate. I hope. I hope. Hope springs eternal. Come on. Let's go ahead and bring up surface. Thank you. And we're kind of way off here. If successful, this will be my first manned landing on Dres, which there's only well, very few other bodies that I've actually never landed on. I've never landed on Vol. I've sent a probe, but I've never landed on Vol. Never landed on Tylo, despite trying rather fatally. Never been to Moho. Never put a man on Eve, which is kind of suicidal for the man or for the Kerbal involved, because there's not easy to get back off of Eve once you get there. I have sent a probe to Eve before. So there actually aren't that many bodies that I actually have never been to. This is one of them. Actually didn't even... I sent a probe here once, but it didn't manage to stay in orbit because the aforementioned problems with the amount of energy required to actually stay in orbit, versus the amount of energy required to go hurtling past it at a great rate of speed, which is what happened with that probe. Okay. I'll keep an eye on that. No ground clutter yet. Okay. We dropped below 3,000 meters. So the land we're about to land on is probably about sea level, so the altimeter is sort of accurate. I don't need to waste fuel here. About 1,000 meters up. Still no rocks. I do have a shadow, however. No appreciable amount of horizontal travel. Yeah, there's a little bit of horizontal travel. Nothing to worry about, though. I'm not going to worry about that. All right, touchdown. Whew. F5. All right, buddy, time to pop on out. Put your boots on, Dres. First man on Dres. Dun, dun, dun. Bottom. Thunk. Okay. Yeah, pretty well high noon here. Let's go plant a flag. Here, Remy Kerman, first man on Dres and all-around badass, first set foot upon the planet Dres and generally rocked out. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's all we have time for right now. We have landed on Dres. First time I've ever landed a man, or Kerbal, landed a Kerbal on Dres. Screenshot. Well, Remy Kerman, something you can be proud of. You are the first man in any of my episodes, anyway, to land on Dres. And until next time, hasta la vista. Adios. Adios, Remy. For someone who's been in space for how long now? I don't know, 6, 7 years? Yeah, you're doing pretty good. Okay, goodbye.